In today's session, we are going to look at the introduction part of your module 3. We will be starting with module 3 today. That is strip lines. We have already taken some introduction part in the previous session, but let me just recall, as it was very long back, we had done the discussion. It was almost last week we had taken the session. So let us have a session on this, an introductory, quick recall on the introduction. What is a transmission line? We have discussed already. So we have already started about the introduction part. That is, what is a transmission line? We have seen the different types of transmission lines. In general, we have open wire transmission line, coaxial transmission line, optical fiber transmission line, then waveguides. They act as a transmission line, microstrip transmission line. These are few examples. Open wire, then coming to the coaxial cable. These are the optical fibers. These are the waveguides. Different waveguides I have taken. Sorry, the images are not color. These are the strip lines. Okay, you can see some three strip lines examples I have taken. Okay. Talking about its evolution, this is your coaxial cable, wherein two conductors are there, one inside the other. Then we have the evolution is with the square coaxial line. That is the difference between figure A and figure B. Then you have the C rectangular coaxial line with a flat center conductor. At the center you have a small strip, right? The difference between the second and the third figure is it's a rectangular in shape, and in the central, whatever the conductor is there, it is a small thin strip. You have a strip, and then with this we have got the evolution of your strip lines. So basically strip line means you'll be having a sandwiched structure. Inside this, you'll be having a strip. This is the actual structure of a strip line. At microwave frequencies, the transmission lines that are used to carry the low frequency radio waves to and from the antennas, we have seen in case of parallel wire lines, coaxial cables, they have excessive power losses. That's why at low frequencies, and we have already studied how the transmission line concept is evolved from the smaller network theory with the small circuit with the low frequencies we started. Then we have derived for higher frequencies. For microwave frequencies we have adapted. So that is what I have listed here. So why we go for a different type of transmission line, a different set of devices and components for microwave frequencies, because you cannot use whatever at low frequencies, the devices, the components that you use in your laboratories, you cannot use them for these microwave frequencies, because you'll be having a lot of excessive power losses, because of which we should go for some other category of the transmission lines. Hence we have discussed even about the waveguides, the waveguide T's we have discussed actually, and now we are going to study about the strip lines. Coming to where this strip line it falls, okay, in which category it falls in the transmission line. So the heading is planar transmission lines. In the planar transmission lines we will see the categories. These planar lines are the lines with the conductors, or in some cases the dielectric strips that are flat. The structure will be flat. The ribbon shaped line, you can see here, the strip is very thin, a ribbon like structure. So the structure of that line will be very flat, ribbon shaped line. They are used to interconnect the components on printed circuits. So now you can identify where these strip lines we use. These strip lines are the transmission lines. It is one of the category of transmission lines, just like your open wire, coaxial cable. Then we have waveguides, optical fibers. Like that, even you have a category of strip lines. So where you are using these strip lines, don't look around here and around yourself and try to search for strip lines, just like your open wire lines that you can see outside, right? Even in coaxial cables, in older TV sets you can find the coaxial cables. Even in your laboratories you use some connectors, practically you can relate. Coming to the strip lines, where you can find these strip lines, they are used to interconnect the components on printed circuits. So in PCBs, when different the components, they are clubbed together on this printed circuit board, you have to transfer the signal and the energy within those components without much loss. Under that, smaller components, they are connected by means of these strip lines. Okay, so these are used to interconnect the components on printed circuit boards and the integrated circuits, your chips, working at microwave frequencies. Because the planar type, these they fit in well with the manufacturing methods for these components. Because you have already studied what is a 3D printing technology, right? So the manufacturing method, it is very much flexible for this planar type of transmission lines. Because of that, you use these in even in your computers, that is ICs. In ICs or even in PCBs, you use these. And coming to the categories, how many? Basically, there are 4 types of planar transmission lines. One is the microstrip line, the second one parallel strip line, third one is coplanar strip lines, and fourth one is shielded strip lines. So in this module 3, the first half, we are going to deal with these 4 strip lines. Okay, main heading is what? You are studying strip lines. But what are these strip lines? I have given you the introduction. In the transmission line, basically we have got these categories. Why and where you are using these strip lines? In these PCBs and in integrated circuits, you use them. And basically planar transmission line, it has got 4 categories: microstrip, parallel, coplanar, and shielded. So you are going to study about these 4 strip lines in this first half of your third module. So coming to the first one, so let us study the details of microstrip lines. So in microstrip lines, so the first category of planar transmission lines, you will be studying about how it looks like. Okay, the structure you will study. Then how you have to find the characteristic impedance, that is Z0. Z0 is the characteristic impedance of a transmission line. So for microstrip line, what is the value? That we will be studying. Then in case of microstrip line, even though no doubt they are used to interconnect the components on a smaller scale, that is printed circuit boards and integrated chips, integrated circuits, that is ICs. Even though they are very less loss, some loss exists. So we will be studying about the different losses that are encountered in the microstrip lines. Okay, then we will be looking at into different categories. So first we will be dealing with microstrip lines. So first thing is microstrip lines. We will be looking into the structure, how it looks like. I'm trying my best to make you understand how the practical things look like. Okay, instead of simply reading out and getting the derivations part, you should practically relate to these concepts and devices, components, where you are using it, how they actually look like. Okay, so I'm trying to get more of the practical images for you all. I'm trying my best for that. So if you see this first figure, it is giving you the constructional details, how the things are. If you see, you have a section here. Okay, this is one section over which there is one more separate section. So these 2 different things are together. So what are these? We will be looking into. You can see you have a dielectric value here, that is epsilon r, and this is the height, and this is your ground plane. You can identify uh, the shading is what? The ground plane. So this is your ground plane. You have a material fixed above it, dielectric. It has got a dielectric constant, epsilon r. And you have one strip here, microstrip. What is the difference you find? In the general strip line structure, it is here sandwiched, it is inserted at the center, you know, the strip. You can see here it is at the top. That is the microstrip line. Okay. This microstrip has got its own width and the length, and even it has got a thickness also. So width, length, this is the height of the material on which you are putting the strip line. You are attaching the strip line. So this is the structure. If you see the field details of that, the different field details, this is your the microstrip, okay, and this is your substrate. Obviously whenever you go for any any of your electronic device, how you fabricate it using a substrate material, right? On the substrate you do all those different processing. Hope you have studied some fabrication processes, the technologies, how you fabricate NMOS, PMOS transistor, some fabrications you might have studied in physics. So the basically you need a substrate. So this, the base, what you're looking at, this is your dielectric, which has got the epsilon r dielectric constant. So this is your substrate, and it is having a low loss dielectric substrate. So this is your substrate. You have a conductor here. It has got a width W. It has got a length L. Now talking about its fields. We are why we are using this setup. Basically, strip lines or microstrip or any transmission line, we have to uh, make the things possible so that the wave can propagate. Right? You are using it as a medium. Hence, it is made of a conductor. You can see this, it is the strip, microstrip used, it is a conductor. So if this is a conductor, you can see whenever the propagation happens, how the field lines are created. Here it will support both electric field as well as magnetic field. You can see it in the figure. You have two different lines shown. Let me take two different colors and show you. Um, These are the round lines encircling this conductor. Around it, they are your H lines, magnetic field lines. And whatever these, let me take a different color. These lines which are penetrating this substrate, okay, they are getting into the substrate. These lines are your electric field lines, okay. If you observe, in both of these electric field lines and magnetic field lines, the lines are some part of the lines it is into the substrate, and some part I cannot show you here. No doubt ये जो मैं draw कर रही हूँ यहाँ पे, the lines, electric field lines, you are feeling that it is inside the material only, but it is something like this. यहाँ पे आपका structure है, आपका field line ऊपर से जा रहा है, okay, there is a gap. So some part of your lines it is in the air, partially some part of the field lines H or E, they are in the air, and some are in the substrate. That is the structure here. Why it is important is, I'm telling you that this strip lines, microstrip lines, they support the wave propagation and both electric and magnetic fields, because of which the mode of propagation should be actually TEM. TEM. TEM stands for transverse electromagnetic wave mode of propagation. So what is a TEM? I have already sent you the details which I had collected in your groups. In this microstrip lines, both you can find electric and magnetic fields. It should support TEM mode of propagation. However, purely TEM is not possible, because you can see partially some of the lines are in the air and some of the lines are in the substrate, and air and substrate, they are having different dielectric value. मीडियम हैज गॉट अ डिफरेंट एप्सिलॉन आर वैल्यू, एयर का अलग है एंड सबस्ट्रेट जो भी आप यूज करेंगे it has got its own value because there is a change in the medium. Some part is in the air and some is in the substrate. Purely transverse electromagnetic wave propagation mode of propagation is not possible, and the type of propagation that it supports, we call it, spell it QUASI, quasi, you know, that is what, half. It is partially in the air and partially in the substrate. So quasi TEM mode of propagation it supports. Okay. The same thing I have written here. The figure shows the microstrip line. It consists of a thin strip conductor placed on a low loss dielectric substrate, right? So you have a strip line here. It is placed on the substrate above the ground plate. The width of the strip is W and the thickness is T. I have not shown you the thickness. Here, this is your thickness. This is the thickness. Okay, this is the length, this is the width, and this is the thickness. Observe the field lines. The electric field lines, they remain partially in the air and partially in the substrate, as just now I have explained you about this. So they are more concentrated near the strip and they decay exponentially towards the ground plane. You can observe this. Ground plane pe they decay, but at near the strip, as it is a conducting material, near that the more of the fields are concentrated. Hence, because of the absence of the ground plate and the dielectric substrate above the strip, reason I have given you in the bracket, why the field lines are more concentrated towards the strip, because you don't have any top ground plate here. For example, take the structure. If this is the structure taken, for this structure you can see it is at the center. Here you can assume the distribution of the field will be uniform, क्योंकि ये strip के नीचे वाले नीचे वाले part में भी you have a plate, the ground plane and the substrate. Even at the above also you have a ground plane as well as the substrate. It is covered overall, but the same uniformity you cannot find in case of microstrip line, क्योंकि ground plate है यहाँ पे, the ground plane is there, above which substrate is there, you have a strip here, right? You have a ground plane, substrate and the strip, above which you don't have another substrate. It is not packed, it is just on this top of the strip you have nothing, simply air is there. So because of this setup, field will be more concentrated here towards the strip, and it is decaying in the substrate. When it exponentially it decays when it is entering into the substrate. This is about the fields. The microwave components such as the antennas, the filters, the power dividers, all different, these are the different list of microwave components. They can be formed from the microstrip with the entire device existing on a substrate. You can design a device. You can use these microstrips and how on a single substrate, using a single substrate and the setup, you can design these components. So microstrip technology, it is less expensive compared to the waveguide, because waveguides, they are bulkier in their, their weights are too much, being lighter and more compact. So strip line का weight कम रहेगा, वो compact है size में. Even आप उसको printed circuit board में use कर सकते हो and in your computers in integrated circuits. It has got certain disadvantage also. The disadvantage of microstrip is the lower power handling capability. You cannot go beyond certain limit. So it has got a lower power handling capability. Unlike the waveguide, it is not enclosed and is hence susceptible to crosstalk and radiation. This is one more disadvantage. Okay, waveguide, it will be what? It is packed structure. It is enclosed structure. But ये strip lines open रहता है, because of which it is more, when you use this in the design, So as a product, जब आपको wave propagation होगा, it is more susceptible to crosstalks and the radiations losses. Coming to the mode of propagation, as I told you, pure TEM is not possible because partially the field lines are in the air and they are partially in the substrate, because of which we can expect quasi TEM, quasi partial. In microstrip line, the radiation loss is directly proportional to the square of the frequency. Just one additional information I'm giving you here. In microstrip line, the losses that are existing, they are directly proportional to square of frequency. जितना frequency ज़्यादा करोगे, loss उतना ज़्यादा होगा, square of the frequency. Okay? But however, use of thin and high dielectric material, it reduces the loss, where the fields are mostly confined inside the dielectric. So how to reduce a loss is by making use of a strip which you use. It should be very much thin as possible, and high dielectric material, epsilon r zyada hona chahiye. So this is the constructional details and the field information about the microstrip lines. Coming to the next one, characteristic impedance Z0 of microstrip lines. So we will be having one expression for this, how to get the characteristic impedance of a microstrip line. If you get any doubts, you can ask me anytime. Coming to the characteristic impedance Z0, microstrip lines are extensively used to interconnect high-speed logic circuits. As I told you, in your PCBs, in your computers, ICs, you use this to interconnect the components. You know, transmission hona chahiye. For that, you use these microstrip lines. And manufacturing method is very much suitable. You are using 3D printing, because they can be fabricated by automated techniques. So here generally I have given you the automated techniques, and they provide the required uniform signal paths. So because of this, low losses. Okay. Now coming to the characteristic impedance, how to get. You can see I have drawn two structures here. Okay, schematic diagrams I have drawn. The first one is, this is for your microstrip line. You can see there is a ground plane. You have a substrate, epsilon r is the value of the dielectric for the substrate. You have the height for that substrate, and this is the width of the strip line which you are using, W, thickness, and the length I cannot show you here. If I want to show length, it should be something like this. Okay, यहाँ पे आप L ले सकते हो, but I have not shown it. This is the schematic. This is for the microstrip line. Coming to the second figure, what is this? The second figure is, this is for wire over the ground line, which is very much available to you. You can see this. Let me see whether I have added that figure. No, I have not added. I'm sorry. I'll share it, how it looks like, wire over the ground line. Just a second. I have added some information about quasi-TEM here. So what is this quasi-TEM? This is your mode of propagation that exists in microstrip line. Okay, it exists in the microstrip line. The term quasi refers that this wave is resembling to TEM wave. So it resembles, not exactly, it resembles. As we know, in the microstrip, top and bottom, it is the conducting part in the general strip line. Okay, and the middle one is the dielectric. This is the structure where, just a second, I'm talking about the structure. Okay, यहाँ पे you can find top, bottom, and there's a strip here. So this is your strip line structure. Coming to the microstrip, what is happening? You have only substrate, and on the top you have a strip line. So above which you are not having one more plate. You know, this structure is not there. So it is filled with air here. Hence, in the microstrip, what is happening? The wave propagates through the air in the top pattern. यहाँ पे top में you don't have any one more substrate. That's why field distribution is not uniform. Near the strip, it is more concentrated, and other parts into the substrate, it is exponentially decaying. So it is the pattern. So due to which the two different mediums exist. इसका epsilon value अलग है, इसका epsilon value अलग है. Because of this difference in the two different the dielectric mediums, one is air and one more is a substrate. There is a difference existing here. The wave propagates with different speeds. This is referred to as quasi-TEM mode. So understood now, because medium is different for these fields, half partially it is in the air and partially it is in the substrate. So because of which the wave propagates with two different speeds in these two regions. That's why the field is, the mode is quasi-TEM. It resembles to TEM but not exactly TEM. Here I have given you the details of what is TEM. Hope it is visible to you. Anyhow, I'll be sharing this slide in your groups. TEM wave refers to the transverse electromagnetic wave. In this mode, electric field and magnetic field, they are perpendicular to each other and even perpendicular to the direction of propagation. You know how the TEM wave propagates? Something like this. You have seen this structure, I guess. Okay. This is your very much general electromagnetic wave propagation. एक इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड है, एक मैग्नेटिक फील्ड है, ये आपका वन मोर डायरेक्शन है. So direction of propagation. Okay, this is your electromagnetic wave. This mode exists in the structure which are having two excited conductors surrounded by the dielectric material. One of the example for this is coaxial cable. Hope you understood the difference in the TEM and quasi-TEM. Mediums, you are getting two different media here. And talking about your characteristic impedance, I have taken two figures here because in order to find the characteristic impedance for microstrip line, we make use of comparative method. Okay, you cannot directly derive. If you just recall how we have found the solution for transmission line equations. We directly did not jump into the, directly taking the transmission line, taking the parameters, finding the equation. We didn't start with that. We started with the low frequency network. We have taken a small part. We have made some changes. Then we have proceeded. Then applying KVL, KCL. Then finally we got the solution. Similarly, even for characteristic impedance Z0 calculation for microstrip line, you cannot directly jump onto calculations and getting the expressions. Here we are making use of comparative method. Okay, there is a reason behind it. Let me just dictate you what is this. Figure shows the cross sections of a microstrip line used and a wire over the ground line. So this is your wire over the ground. You can see this is one medium. You can use any substrate. It can be air, it can be any material. Okay, this is your medium which is having the dielectric value epsilon r, and this is your cable. Okay, wire. This is your wire. Okay, something like this. The wire is hanging. You can see if it is hanging like this, and here it is a medium. Center of this wire here, and if you see completely either this or this, overall this is your diameter. So this is the wire over the ground line, and this is your microstrip line. So both I have drawn the schematic diagrams, cross-sectional diagrams I have drawn, because we are using the comparative method. Coming to the characteristic impedance,